This is Miss Cindy. This video I am recording because three things I want to tell you. The first is I hope everyone had a good holiday, and I'm wishing everyone happy, healthy, prosperous New Year's. The second thing, I wanted to thank my YouTube audience because one of my videos, the one that I dyed a polyester jacket, it got over 11,000 views, and I got a lot of questions and a lot of feedback, so I want to thank you for that. And third is about this video that I'm making today. I do loads of crafts, and what I put on my YouTube channel are different crafts that the family can do, the kids can do, stuff that I've learned, and I'm just passing it on to the viewer with maybe some helpful hints and tips, different things that I found. However, in between that, I'm crafting almost daily. And there's a whole lot of stuff that you have not seen that I've sold. I've been commissioned work. And I haven't videoed those because they're challenges for me. And they don't always go the way I want them to. And I don't want to make a video where I have to re-record it because I messed up or gave you the wrong information. So when it comes to those projects and little things I do around the house, I just do them. However, I had a couple of friends suggest that maybe I should show you some of the other stuff that I've done, which would give you an idea of the different crafts that you can do. A lot of the stuff you see online, but when it comes to me seeing something online, I may try it just to get the technique, but then I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to put my own spin on it. I'm going to use my own imagination and my own creativity, and I'm going to make it my own. So this video is a short clip just to show you some of the other projects that I've done for 2021. Enjoy. First is my triptych, which is a 3 canvas or 3 picture set. This one here, I've always admired these, but I had a hard time with this, but I wanted to do one, and it came out pretty good for my first tryout. I like the way that it shows how the picture flows together. So that was my first time doing it, and I felt pretty good about it. However, I'm going to show you where I took it a step further. I did a quadriptych, and that's this one here, where I used 4 canvases, but 4 triangle canvases. And then I also used my experience with the acrylic pour, using the silicone to make the cells. My first refurbished job, I've always wanted to refurbish a piece of furniture. And this one here, you know, I do yard sales and estate sales. This particular stool, somebody had moved out and put it outside. They didn't want it, and it had a big rip in the lever top. So it had good bones, the wood looked good. So I went ahead and I grabbed it, and I ended up making an end table for a young couple that just got married. And there goes my working with stain and paint, and I put some letters on it. And in addition, on the top of this table, these are her colors, so I did an acrylic pour, and then I did matching coasters. My next refurbished job, this was a big one. This is an antique Baum Ritter butterfly wing table. And this is also an antique, and a friend of mine that also knows that I like to do garage sales, he saw this on the side of the road, and he sent me a picture and asked if I wanted it. So I went ahead and I said yes. He picked it up and I got it, and I'm going to show you what I did with this one. This table is now sitting in my room. I cut off the wings of this table, and I went ahead and did my acrylic pour. The Eye of Horus is wood that I put on there, and then I resined it to see if it would take. This was a thick type of resining, so I had to build a dam around it, but first time I did that, and it worked out pretty good. And then I just took some wood pieces and made triangles to go on the legs. I was trying to give this a modern feel because this was such an old antique table. But once again, the bones were good, and I just figured out some way that I could use it and make it last. So this little table's sitting in my room. This is a set of stacking tables. I have a friend of mine that she did everything she could to buy that Egyptian table for me. And I was not letting that go for no amount of money in the world, because that was the first time I did it and I was pleased with it. So she found 2 tables that she had in her garage that she had gotten from an estate sale and never used. So she gave them to me and asked me if I could do an Egyptian theme for her on the small table, but only she wanted the Egyptian cat in the middle. So I went ahead and did the same thing. She got the little wood triangles, the pyramids on the bottom, and I did an acrylic pour, but only I used the stencil for this one. And here is a close-up of it. So she was pretty pleased with that. She was a little shocked that it was resin. Yeah, I was going to resin it, so it's protected. Now, there is a really long story with this chest, but I won't go into it. I'm just going to let you know that this chest was a pain. This is an antique chest that I got, oh my gosh, years ago. And I always stored craft supplies in it. And it's gone with me from house to house to house because it's so heavy and it's well made. Well, this 2021 was the year I was going to do something with it. So I've always wanted a wine rack. I always wanted to make a wine rack. Nope, I don't drink. Don't know why. I just wanted to make it. Probably because you always see them with wood. And I love working with wood. So anyway, I decided to make like a wine cabinet. And I'm going to show you how that came out. Well, this is my wine rack or wine cabinet or whatever you want to call it. This is not what I originally wanted to do. But once I started stripping down the wood, I figured I'm just going to go ahead and make this like a cabinet for wine. On the side, I've got to put a little latch on. That was something new for me to do. And my handle is actually a replica of a wine bottle. And when you open it up, I put a shelf in there. And this is the wine rack that I really wanted to do. But I just used my imagination. I got some corks and used that as decoration. I found a cheap wine bottle opener. And I just used this bottle just to make sure that it would fit in there. So it would fit 4 bottles. And then I found online some gold and black silicone wine glasses, which I had never seen before. But I figured if I sell this, it would be sold with the whole set. But anyway, this was a challenge too, because I had to make the shelf and the wine rack, which is what I originally wanted to do. And then this was my first time doing piece of furniture with coasters on it. So that was new for me, trying to get those on. I'm proud of it. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but at least I accomplished it. This next project I just finished this week, and it's curing. And I was asked to decorate these 2 monitor desk stands, which somebody had actually just, took some pieces of wood and made them stands, and they were just bare. So another friend of mine asked me, she commissioned me actually to decorate these 2 stands. One she wanted in a Chicago Bears theme, and the other one she wanted in a trucking theme for my son's business. She wanted to give him one. So anyway, I like when people say, okay, this is the theme, these are the colors, but you do what you want to do. So I'm going to show you how I decorated these 2. These are the 2 stands once I finished decorating them. The one in the front was just a truck theme, and what I did was just got pictures of the truck on various routes, and I Mod Podged those on the top, and then I went ahead and resined them. The bears are stencils, and then I got a piece of fabric which I also Mod Podged on the top. So not very fancy, but very pretty. And this will suffice for what they're going to do, because you're really not going to see much of this if you have a monitor sitting on it. But she just wanted the themes, I guess, to go in the rooms. And then naturally, on the side, I have a stencil on one end. And on the other end, I went ahead and put the letters. So BBC is the name of the trucking company, and the CB for Chicago Bears. The next one is a wreath. And I really don't do wreaths, but there was one that caught me online on YouTube. And it was a wreath this woman was doing, made out of pages from a book. I liked the idea and I wanted to try it, but I did not want to rip up a book of any kind. So what I did was I bought a roll of reversible Christmas wrapping paper, where one side is like the plaid red and the other one had Merry Christmas on it. And I went ahead and tried to do this paper cone wreath. I was shocked that it came out as big as it did. Those are the measurements that I use. It's pretty huge. And it's nice. So this I gave to someone as a Christmas gift. Actually, it was one of the women that wanted me to make her a wreath, and I ended up making her a tissue box wreath cover. So this was just something new. This is something the kids can do. This is something everybody can do. It takes a lot of time, a lot of cutting, a lot of putting together. But I was proud, I was happy that this came out pretty good. This was my first attempt at doing a puzzle and preserving it. This is an Egyptian print that I actually ordered from Zazzle. They have beautiful puzzles. Anyway, it took me a couple of days to put the puzzle together. And then I Mod Podged it to glue it together and to give it that shine. And then I matted it and put it in a frame. This is a project that anybody can do, especially the kids would love doing this if you're going to preserve it and hang it on their walls. So this was my first attempt at doing this. However, it was pretty simple. It's pretty easy. So I did this again, and I'm going to show you how I've made things more complicated. Okay, this is the one I'm working on now, and this one is huge. This is like a 16 by 20, and it took me 5 days to put this baby together. And I said I will never do another puzzle. And I guess the problem was, for me, it had so much black background. But anyway, this is the Anubis. And what I did with this one is, and I don't know if it's going to work. I'm just trying it. But I went ahead, put the puzzle together. I used Mod Podge for the top coat. And then, instead of matting it with a cardboard mat, I went around and matted it with a coarse pumice gel. So I went ahead and did the outline of the frame in a coarse pumice. And then I went ahead and painted it. And now it's drying. And when it dries, I'm going to try to resin this whole picture. Now, there is something that I did different with this one. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to hope it works. The bottom of it is taped. I have paint. And I have the coarse gel to try to seal the sides. But what I did was I put this in the frame upside down. So this way, it has a dam already there, so I don't have to worry about it dripping down the side. So we're going to see if this one works. But like I said, this is me being a little bit creative and taking the basic puzzle and doing something different with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.